guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Nicole if you're new here. Here on We Mama I do lots of motherhood, lifestyle, cleaning and organisational videos. So if you like that kind of content, I would love it if you'd stick around and maybe consider subscribing. Today's video, as you can tell by the title, is a Waterstones book haul. I love Waterstones. It's just a wonderful place, isn't it? But we don't always tend to shop in there that often because it gets pricey. I do tend to usually just scour the charity shops. My mum is very good at sniffing out books very cheap at charity shops as well. She helps us out a lot by buying some nice books. Both my mum and I are real sticklers for like beautiful books with a lovely like imaginative tale, and especially if it's got like lovely illustrations. We love our books in this family. I currently don't even have a bookcase, so we've just got books everywhere. I've popped in recently. This was not done all at the same time. I bought a few just before Christmas and just after Christmas, and also Didier and Nina had £20 gift cards off their lovely Nana Eileen. On the weekend we made use of those vouchers and we bought some bits. So yeah, I'm very excited to show you what we've picked up. With some of the money from the Waterstones voucher, I picked up these books. These are from The Little People, Big Dreams. This one is written by Isabel Sanchez Vergara, illustrated by Barbara Elsa. And this one's all about Ella Fitzgerald and her life. These stories are just so beautiful. They're all beautifully illustrated, and it just gives you like a little snippet into those people's lives. We have already got quite the collection. We've got one on Coco Chanel, David Attenborough, Amelia Earhart and Frank, and now I've picked up this one here, Ella Fitzgerald and Elton John. I'm a huge fan of Elton John, so yeah, I loved showing this one to Didier. We read these the other night, and then we got their music up on YouTube, and Dids absolutely loved Dancing Away, and you know, we were showing them like this is Elton John and this is Ella Fitzgerald. So it was really nice to just watch him kind of like put two and two together, that you know, those are the people from his story. So yeah, I can't wait to just collect a few more of these books. They are £10 each, which I try not to spend any more than like £8 on books, but as we had the voucher, and I really love these books. They're so nice to look at, they're so lovely to display as well. So yeah, I just thought I would treat them. Didier actually asked for the Elton John one. He wanted this one because he liked his glasses. Then along with the voucher, we also picked up this story. Now I have a real soft spot in my heart for this story. I grew up reading it and it is such a lovely tale. It's called The Lighthouse Keeper's Lunch by Rhonda and David Armitage, and it's all about a man. Like the watercolours in this are so lovely, and I grew up with it, and it always just makes me chuckle. But it's about a man, a lighthouse keeper, and he lives up high up on a cliff, and every day he rows out to the lighthouse, and his wife sends him, she makes his lunch and she sends it down the rope to the lighthouse. And one day the seagulls find out that the picnic basket is full of food, so they keep taking his lunch and they have to find different ideas to stop the seagulls from taking his food. And Didier has loved this book. It's got a little cat in it called Hamish, which he absolutely adores. So yeah, he has loved reading this, and which, you know, it just makes you feel so happy when the stories that you enjoyed as a child, like you're now reading those to your little ones. So yeah, Didier has loved reading that one. I then picked up, also with the voucher, these books. I've left my other one downstairs, but I picked up two of these. This one is Rosa Revere, Engineer by Andrea Beatty, illustrated by David Roberts. And these are such cool little books, and I love that they kind of show kids that, you know, from a young age that you can be building and tinkering and things like that. And this one is all about Rosa Revere. She's obviously an engineer. This is just turned into a Netflix series as well. So we have really been enjoying that. But the Netflix series is called Ada Twist Scientist, and that's the one that I've got downstairs. But Didier really enjoyed reading that one. It's about a little girl, yeah, and she does science experiments and things like that. So it's lovely to like open kids' eyes to science and like engineering from a young age. I'm all for stuff like that, like to visually see things like that. I didn't have books like this when I was a kid, so yeah, I'm really excited to like introduce these. So yeah, I picked up Rosa, Revere, Engineer, and Ada Twist, Scientist, and then there's something Sanchez, Future Prez, something like that. There's Iggy Peck, Architect. There's quite a few now, and yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on those. Next up, Didier picked up this one called Mama Panya's Pancakes. My child is obsessed with pancakes, and I feel that because I also love pancakes. But this one is all about a village in Kenya, a village tale from Kenya, and the mother makes pancakes for the village. She's really worried about the cost of the pancakes because her little boy invites the whole village to come and eat the pancakes. It's written by Mary Enrich Chamberlain and illustrated by Julia Cairns. And I love stories like this that show young children about the world, like different communities and cultures and things like that. I think this one is such a beautiful one, and I'm really trying to build a collection of like worldly stories so that my child can just basically have that understanding, like that's not like my country, that's not like where I live, and they just kind of like put two and two together that, you know, the world is a big place and we have lots of different cultures, so he can have that kind of understanding from an early age. And yeah, he is of course obsessed with pancakes, and the illustrations are so beautiful, their colours are so lovely, and you can just discuss so many things in this story, like the housing, like the people, like the styles, the clothes, things like that, and of course pancakes. My child loves a pancake. I also picked up this one called Coming to England by Floella Benjamin. I actually love Floella Benjamin. She's like a TV presenter. She has now started doing some children's books. And this story is all about her journey to the UK on the Windrush. And of course, it's just another thing that I want my child to be aware of. I want them to kind of have that understanding about history and things like that. What better way to introduce these kind of topics like through picture books like this? And it's such a lovely little tale, and it's so beautifully illustrated. Like the colours, yeah, it's a really lovely story. I picked up this one just after Halloween, I think, and I saw this one on the shelf and I was like, that looks like a cool book. And this one's called Gustavo the Shy Ghost. The illustrations in this book are incredible. They are so, so beautiful. It is by Flavia Z. Drago. Didier is obsessed with ghosts. Like, he loves pretending to be a ghost. He's got all these dressing up clothes. All I need to do is give him a sheet and he will just walk around the house, walking into things, pretending to be a ghost. But it is just so cute. All about a ghost who he's just trying to find friends with the monsters and things like that. And yeah, it's such a cute, heartwarming little tale. I can't wait to get this back out for Halloween next year. I then picked up another story by Tyler Fedar called Bodies Are Cool. I've never seen this before, and I was just flicking through it and I just thought, what a lovely way to express that everybody is different. It's basically a book all about different bodies, basically. It's got people with prosthetic limbs, it's got people with the different skin tones. I can't remember it, but I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but where the skin is lighter in certain areas. It's got people, you know, of all different sizes with stretch marks, birthmarks, freckles. It's got people, you know, who might have had like a mastectomy, and it's people's in wheelchairs with canes. Like I mentioned, I'm just trying to really build a collection so that my children can just have that kind of understanding and awareness of the world around them. And it just says, big bodies, small bodies, dancing, playing, happy bodies. Look at all these different bodies. Bodies are cool. And I just love that it's got all the different skin tones. And then, especially like on this page, you see a tube and everybody is different heights, different sizes, colours. It mentions hair and things like that. And yeah, I just think it's a good way to get your little kids understanding that everybody is different and we're all unique, individual. I love that it goes into like different cultures. It shows that people wearing different items of clothing, like the turbans and hijabs because I want my children to be curious. Like if he asks me like, what's that? What are they wearing? It's just a good conversation starter, and you can explain what it is, why people wear them. And yeah, it's a lovely book, like very inclusive one. And along the same lines of that, I've got My Skin, Your Skin. And it says, let's talk about race, racism and empowerment. And this one is by, illustrated by Okinye Iwu and Laura Henry Allen. A little bit different, but obviously all has the same ideas. Just saying like our skin colours are different, our eye colours are different, we could be small, big or short, we could have one arm or two. And it, you know, like there it shows like a child with like the arm missing up to the elbow. And yeah, I just think it's a really good way of introducing like these kinds of things to children from a young age. I've loved reading this with Didier. I then picked up Why Do We Wear Clothes? And this book is so cool. It basically shows clothes throughout the centuries. For me, why I really loved it, it shows the clothes from different cultures. So it talks about hijabs, it talks about kimonos and hanboks and things like that, and why we wear like hats. It goes through different shoes. It's called Why Do We Wear Clothes? From Hats to Shoes, The Fascinating Stories of the Clothes We Wear by Helen Hancox. And it goes into like the clothes from India, all different places. Obviously like my little boy is only just turned 3, so we just sometimes skim past it and we talk about the colours. But I know that when they're older, they will love flicking through that. Another book I picked up with the vouchers is Out to Sea. I just like quickly flipped past this one and then did like brush past me and started looking at the pictures as well. Again, absolutely beautifully illustrated. I love a watercolour book. They're just so stunning. This one's called Out to Sea by Helen Kellock. And this one, Didier really wanted to pick it up, and I didn't really read that much into it. He wanted it. He does love animals and the sea, pretending boat, like we're on a boat, we're on the sofa in bed, things like that. But when we actually read it, it's actually more a book about anxiety and feelings and things like that. It's about a little girl who gets so overwhelmed that she cries an ocean in her room and gets swept out to sea. So that was actually quite good to talk about feelings. I realised that I haven't actually got any books on feelings and emotions, so I think that's another thing to pick up on my list. But again, very beautiful, and it just says on the back, drop by drop, Lara's tears fill up her bedroom. Her sadness overwhelms her until she is carried far away, out to sea, but deep in the belly of the ocean, Lara finds something that gives her the strength to row back home. And yeah, it is so gorgeous and like very ethereal and like dreamy. It's a very pretty book. He has loved this one, and I just thought yeah, it was a beautiful book, so I'm definitely gonna make it my mission to pick up some more books about feelings and things like that. Another book that Diddy picked up is called Nen and the Lonely Fisherman. As you can see, he's really into like the sea at the minute, and most of our books included the sea that he chose. It's by Ian Eagleton and James Mayhew. It's a magical tale of a merman's search for true love. As Nen sends a song of hope across the sea, a lonely young fisherman longs to find warmth within his heart. One star-filled night, the two find each other, but their special connection is met with dismay by Nen's father. The mighty Pelagios creates a wild sea storm to protect his son and his oceans. Can Nen save Ernest? And it is just such a beautiful story. The illustrations are absolutely stunning. It's just such a magical story, and it's so lovely to just see things from like a different perspective. You know, reading the love story between a man and a woman. This is actually about two men, so I actually think it's so lovely. You know, you didn't have stories like this when I was a child, but I love that, you know, these stories can be incorporated from like a young age. It's just so beautiful. Like, you know, in the end he saves him and they just sit on the rock and hold hands. Also then with Nina's voucher, I picked up Each Peach Plum. This is just such a classic for any little ones. I completely forgot about this story until I saw it once, and I was like, oh, I'll wait until I can find it in a charity shop, and I never did. So in the end, yeah, I just picked it up from Waterstones, and Nina has loved it. She loves sitting and just flicking through it and pointing things out. Didier has loved like hunting for the clues, like looking for Tom Thumb and like trying to spy the next character on the page, and yeah, he's loved this one and it really is a classic. It's by Janet and Alan Allberg. And then last but not least, I picked up the John Classen trilogy. These books are just so funny and the story has always stayed with me. They are just so simple and minimal but hilarious. They're really good. And so I picked these up just before Christmas for Nina's Christmas presents, and it all started with this one, I Want My Hat Back by John Classen, and they are just so beautifully illustrated, and like I said, they're very minimal, and it's all to do with like the illustrations, like the emotion and the communication in like the illustrations. Like some of the pages don't even have any words. Like I said, like they don't really need to tell the story, if you know what I mean. I won't explain what it's about because it's a very short story, but it's really, really funny. And then this one is called This Is Not My Hat. Another great one, all about the hat. Again, beautiful imagery, very simple storytelling, and again, all to do with expression throughout the images. And then whilst I was like picking up those two, I spotted this one next to it, and I'd never heard of this one before, never come across it. And this one's called We Found a Hat by John Classen. And this one is like very sweet. The other two are like quite funny, but this is very sweet, Back to Friends. This one's quite a nice story about friendship. Again, very simple and minimal. These two are hardback books, which I thought would be perfect for Nina. And again, yeah, very simple illustrations, very simple storytelling, but really effective and really beautiful. And that is my haul. I've just been collecting them and I thought I would do a video showing you all because I love Waterstones and I love children's books. We are definitely trying to build up a collection of different books, and when we move to our new house, yeah, I can't wait to have like a little library and cozy corner. We just haven't got the space here. So yeah, I can't wait for the children to have a playroom downstairs and to make a little library for them. So yeah, very exciting stuff. I'm gonna go now because this was a very long video. I didn't intend for it to be so long. If you like this video, I would really appreciate a big thumbs up. Please leave any comments down below. Let me know of any like worldly stories about culture, skin colour, diversity, disabilities, things like that. I'm very open. I really want my children to be open and aware of these kinds of things. So if you do have any recommendations or your favourite children's stories, I would love to hear them, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!